Do you find it strange that Sony developed a highly capable video camera in the a7S III instead of doing it inside a cinema body? It's more video camera than stills, but no ND filters and those other capabilities that make a video camera a video camera. Now, recent leaks indicate that the Sony FX3 is a cinema version of the a7S III right down to the sensor. I've got the specs, this and more after the intro. Hi, I'm Simon. Thanks for tuning into The Ordinary Filmmaker. Subscribe to get notification of new videos like this one so you don't miss any news, rumors, gear reviews, or tutorials. And to make things just a little bit more exciting, I'm giving away a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to one lucky viewer. Details are in the description down below, or you can watch this video here, but please look at the terms and conditions as there are some age and location restrictions. And now for today's news. The Sony a7S III has amazing video capabilities, making it one of the best cameras in 2021. It has 4K 120, 4K 60, IBIS, impressive low light, low noise, and very good dynamic range. All this without overheating in all but a few extreme conditions. And Dan Watson knows exactly what those are. Now, the FX3 can do 4K 60, 4K 120, and the same codecs without overheating. And with these new leaked specs and this new photo, it's looking like Sony has taken the innards of the a7S III and put them inside a compact cinema camera body. The FX3 has the same 12 megapixel sensor found in the a7S III, and the larger pixels give it low noise, better low light performance, and have the same impressive dynamic range. And on top of that, the FX3 will also get IBIS. But what's missing are any internal ND filters, something I love to see in a cinema camera and an opportunity missed here. It also won't have any sort of raw recording. Now, let's revisit the price. I made a mistake in my calculations the other day, so let's take another look. The FX3 will cost €3,795. Now, European products have a tax already baked into the price, so we need to remove that so we can compare it and convert it over to US dollars. Now, on average, that's a 20% tax. Removing that makes the FX3 €3,036. Next, we apply the foreign exchange rate, which brings us to $3,679, and that's using the spot rate. Now, due to the higher cost of living in Europe, I'm going to take away another $200, leaving us at around $3,479. And of course, once the marketing people get their hands on the price, it's going to rise to a nice, comfortable $34.99, which I believe is the same price as the Sony a7S III. What do you think? Now, I think that this price is pretty accurate. It could be within plus or minus $150. But it's a good solid price, and it gives you the choice. Do you want to go cinema? Are you ready to go cinema, or do you still want to take some photos? Now, Sony's going to announce the FX3 at CP+. We should have all the details and be able to pre-order the camera by February the 23rd. So I won't be surprised if the remaining specs get leaked along with the press release. Here's a quick recap of the leaked specs to date, excluding the ones I've already talked about. The FX3 will have active cooling, a supplied XLF adapter, 10-bit 422, and come with s-cinetone along with the other codecs found in the a7S III. And now, let's go behind the scenes. First of all, sorry I'm a little bit late on this one. I got the news quite early once I woke up, but you know what I decided to do for a change? I thought, you know what, it's beautiful outside. It's about -10, it's sunny, we just got a fresh dusting of snow, and those are the big flakes. So when the light hits them, they're just absolutely beautiful. And so I went for a walk in the forest and through the trails, and I'm glad I did that. So I'm not the first out there, and I do apologize, but you know what? It's Sunday of a long weekend, and I decided to put the family first. But that's not what I want to talk to you about behind the scenes. It does talk to prioritization, and sometimes you guys say I need to prioritize my health and other things, and I do that. But the real point I want to make of this is the FX3 looks to be a great camera. I mean, the a7S III is a great camera, so why wouldn't the FX3 be? But what's really interesting is here we are, we're around February the 14th. Happy Valentine's Day, by the way. And what are we missing? We haven't gotten a single leak spec from Canon in months. Yet how many leak specs have we got from Sony on the FX3? They seem to be dropping like crazy. It reminds me of last year when Canon kept leaking information on the Canon R5 and pretty well every other camera. Information kept flowing out, but Canon's completely silent. And now Sony, whether it's intentional or not, is leaking information about their FX3. I think this is kind of interesting. I certainly hope it's not the trend. I hope both companies start leaking information, as well as Panasonic and Nikon, because without news, there's not a lot for us to cover here on the news. Well, I wouldn't call it the news channel. I was going to call it the CNN, the Camera News Network. Without leaks and without news, there's an awful lot less content to cover. So I really do hope that Canon starts leaking some stuff soon. CP Plus is just a couple of weeks away. It runs, well, less than 2 weeks away. It's the February the 25th through to the 28th. And that's not too far away. And now we can get leaks this early. Sometimes, usually what happens though, the official leaks start happening, or not, sorry, the official leaks. The official announcements start happening within a couple of days before CP Plus. So we'll start to hear more news, but I'm really surprised. If we were going to get some Canon cameras being announced, I'd really expect some sort of leaks, and there's nothing. And it's really, really strange. I wonder if what am I trying to say here? The market, the supply chain. I wonder if all the disruptions to the supply chain caused by COVID, by the AKM semiconductor, are just slowing things down to the point where Canon's deciding, look, we need to catch up on the R5 and a few other things before we go ahead and release a whole bunch more cameras, which we won't be able to get out. I don't know, but it's too quiet. It's the kind of quiet you get after a foot of snow. There's so much snow around that it absorbs all sound. It soundproofs the environment. If you walk outside after a snowstorm like that, you can't hear a thing. It's just absolutely silent. And that's what it feels like coming from Canon. But Sony, we're getting lots of leaks, so I think that's good. That's terrific. Now, hopefully, let's take a step back a little bit here. We are in the busiest season of the year for cameras, and it usually starts, like I said, within the last week of January, like in the last few days of January, all the way up to about May. So in that time frame, we're going to get a ton of news, we're going to get a ton of rumors, we're going to get a ton of announcements. And then products will start showing up usually right around March, all the way up till about August. And then as far as announcements goes, it's usually pretty quiet from about June all the way up to the end of August and into September. And then things usually start right back up again in the middle of September, going through to October. But who knows? 2020 showed us that things are anything but normal, and I imagine this year is going to be a little bit more of the same. Hopefully, things start to return to normal soon, and we can have, I really do hope we have a normal fall. I really do. But I just don't know. Anyhow, that's it for now. I want to get back to my Sunday. Don't forget to subscribe for your chance to win 2 Angelbird 128GB AV Pro MK2 B90 SD cards, along with a dual UHS 2 card reader. Or you could also win a Ulanzi LED light package with accent lights, underwater lights, and various flat panel lights that you can use for lighting your subject. Or this kit would be really good if you're also starting your own YouTube channel, especially if you're vlogging. I'll be awarding these 2 prize bundles to 2 lucky viewers once the channel reaches 30,000 subscribers. And then I'll be coming up with other prize bundles that'll take us all the way up to 100,000, at which point I'll be awarding a brand new Canon EOS R5 full-frame mirrorless camera to 1 lucky viewer. And on that bombshell, thanks so much for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. And yes, I almost completely forgot my words, but if you notice, I just kind of went with it. And if I hadn't said anything, you wouldn't have noticed. Anyhow, go ahead and have yourself a great weekend. If you're in Ontario, have yourself a great long weekend. Even though it's a long weekend, if there's news coming out, I'll be reporting it. But thanks again for watching The Ordinary Filmmaker. We'll see you again soon.